A very good evening to you. This is Primetime News on TV1, and as usual for the Newsfirst team, I'm Zamal Ratnayaka. Before we head into our stories in detail, let's start off with a look at headlines.
UPFA boycotts Parliament over the conduct of the Speaker. President instructs to publish the Bond Commission report with all attachments within 2 weeks. JVP plans to bring in a proposal to dissolve Parliament. Deputy Leader of the United National Party, Sajith Premadasa, says a democratic country will be created.
The United People's Freedom Alliance boycotted Parliament today as well. The Parliament convened at 1 p.m. today.
Professor Shumara Singha presented a proposal in Parliament regarding the downfall of the tourism industry due to the prevailing political crisis in the country.
It has been a month since the government came into power. There has not been a single act, law or presented to Parliament. Speaker, for the first time in the country's history, the government, the so-called government, is boycotting Parliament. You mentioned that steps will be taken regarding the damages that were caused to the Parliament in the past few days. Can we know what has happened? The damages are still the same. At this time, government in the country, they have been defeated thrice. They are hiding as they are not able to come to Parliament and they are unable to pass an act. We are not secure within the Parliament. They attack us with chili powder. When I travel back to the electorate, there are people from outside who are ready to attack me using petrol bombs. Last Sunday, when I made a complaint regarding this, no action has been taken by the Badula police or the Passara police. The OIC has been promoted to an ASP. This Saturday is the 1st of December. In the next 30 days, a legal government has to be appointed. Employees cannot be paid from the 1st of January. Salaries of the pensioners cannot be paid. The complete process will get locked. Honourable Speaker intervened into this and asked the President to appoint a legal government immediately. When there was a no confidence motion that has been approved in this House, and when it is in the Hansard, and when there is a situation where the whole country has to accept this, our parliamentary privileges are being violated when they are still referred to by the print and electronic media as ministers and Prime Minister. There should be an investigation regarding this. A few days ago, the President addressed the foreign media. He said Sarath Fonseca will not be made Prime Minister. I did not have such a dream. I do not know why he is dreaming such dangerous dreams. When the journalists ask him why Sarath Fonseca not be made the PM, he has said that Sarath Fonseca plotted to murder me and therefore he cannot be made Prime Minister. This is a serious problem. I raise a point of privilege. I ask you to respectfully take action and to ask the IGP. Either ask him to put me in jail or ask that points be expressed regarding this serious allegation before Parliament. Namal Kumara and unofficial intelligence officers have informed the President. Hold an inquiry about this as well. There is a possibility that he will receive nominations from the Pohot tour. In the 123 audio clips, there is not a single mention about the assassination of the President or the former Secretary. Namal Kumara came before the media recently and said Nalaka de Silva is mentioning Ranjit Madduma Bandara as well. They are attacking the parliamentarians and the ministers in this manner. Investigate into this. From the 26th of October until today, various illegal proposals have been approved by the illegal cabinet. One important proposal is to hand over the construction worth over $100 million at the Colombo harbour to a Chinese company. There was no tender process as well. There's a big financial fraud behind this. The Sports Ministry has decided to buy sports equipment for 7.58 million rupees and hand it over to the children. They have decided to hand this over to a company called Harrison. This is not a company that sells sports equipment. There is no registration, there is no agent. This was given day before yesterday. There is corruption here.
This crisis has shown that there are members of Parliament who stand up for principle. And I want to pay a tribute particularly for members of Parliament and for small parties in this Parliament representing small interests and sometimes ethnic minorities in this country who have stood up for principle and who have safeguarded parliamentary democracy and good governance, and we salute them for the stand that they have taken.
Udaya Gammanpila convened a media briefing and said, as the head of the parliament, when the Hansard is issued officially, that it will be a forged document and there will be jail terms involved. If this is what they are saying, there should be an inquiry into this and the people of the country should be made aware as to whether you have forged a document or whether they are slinging mud at you. If I need to wear a jumper for justice and the truth, I am prepared to do that. I have not forged any documents. I have not done fake deeds in my life. I informed this to the officials this morning as well. Or a police inquiry can be carried out. If I am not suitable for the speaker, there can be a no confidence motion against me. I can be removed. There is no problem.
Here are some of the views expressed by the MPs of the UPFA explaining as to why they boycotted today's parliamentary session.
Here is the agenda for today. An empty paper. The Speaker does not need to make the Parliament look like a joke. The Speaker is trying to act according to his own wishes, like the rule of the jungle. We are the parliamentarians who are appointed by the people's mandate, bound to act according to the Constitution. It does not matter what party we belong to. If the Speaker acts as if he is in Sirikota, we do not accept the Sirikota state constitution or standing orders. We have already disapproved of them and sent them home. A complaint stating that the hands-on has been tampered with was handed over to the Speaker today by the party leaders. We asked that this report would not be made public and stated that the parliamentary session held on the 14th, 15th, 16th, 19th and 21st as well as the 23rd of November 2018 went against the Constitution, standing orders and parliamentary traditions. We cannot participate in a parliamentary session in a situation where the Hansard is meddled in a way that would give a negative image to the country.
Leader of the opposition R. Sampanthan and leader of the Janata Vimukti Peramuna Anurakumara Dissanayaka expressed these views at the parliamentary complex.
Today, the government benches were empty. Members who claimed to be in charge of the government were not present in Parliament. If government members don't come to Parliament, they can't rule the country. There is no government in the country.
If they are accusing the Speaker of being biased, then they can take steps against the Speaker based on the standing orders and the Constitution. What we have been continuously saying is that the conspiracy should be defeated. But that shouldn't be done by Ranil taking a seat on Mahinda's seat or Mahinda taking a seat on Ranil's seat. This is a problem about democracy. So the first attempt should be to defeat this conspiracy. And after that, we are hoping to bring in a proposal to dissolve Parliament and to give the people an opportunity to create a new Parliament. Meanwhile, Ranil Wickramasinghe met with UPFA MP Kumara Velgama when entering the parliamentary complex today. Security officers of Ranil Wickramasinghe did not allow journalists to record this moment.
The second phase of the series of rallies organized by the United National Front under the theme Voice of Justice for Democracy was held in Kaltara today.
The rally was joined by party leaders including the leader of the UNP, Ranil Wickramasinghe, and deputy leader of the UNP, Sajid Premadasa. The rally was joined by two groups proceeding from two rally points in Kalutara.
What does President Maithripala Sirisena say? He says he cannot work with me. If he faced such an issue, why didn't he reveal this to anyone? He could have informed Rajita Senaratne. He could not reveal this to us. He could have at least revealed this to members of his own party. Following our defeat at the provincial and municipal council elections, the president asked me whether he should resign from his position. I told him that we have already made a statement that we accepted our defeat and that our defeat is a sign indicating that the government's efforts are not enough. We have to do more. And that is why I say we can rectify these issues and go forward. On the other hand, it was the president and myself who received the people's mandate. If we were to reject it, we should have made the rejection together. That conversation came to an end at that point. The temporary government is not a tomato government. It's a group of thugs in power. The existence of such a government is against the people's mandate. Will you allow this? It is with much responsibility I state that with the strength of the people, we will establish a people's government and we will bring forward the era of development once again. We will not stop until we regain power and strengthen the people of this country, starting from the unborn child to the senior citizen of Sri Lanka.
The United People's Freedom Alliance made 2 revelations today.
The President had made an order today to publish the Sinhalese and Tamil copies of the bond report within 2 weeks. Why did the debate on the bond stop? The government did not take steps to publish this in at least the state languages. That is how they skipped the debate. The Bond Commission report will be enacted. Our government will work to find out who played a role in this and who the wrongdoers are. In 2 weeks, the other list of the central bank will come out. We can see as to who will be in this. Then the rest will be all over as well. The country will see as to how many people who hold press conferences before the media are implicated in this. Then they will stop talking. The bond scam is 11 billion. The President said as long as he is alive, he will not give the Prime Ministership to him. The JVP had on 3 occasions said they will bring a proposal on the 29th to dissolve the parliament and go for an election. Oh, that is good. Tell the JVP to bring in that proposal. Tell them to dissolve and go for an election. We will use our vote well. Namal Kumara and Amit Veerasinghe say that your party had agreed to provide nominations. It should be made clear. Such people will not receive nominations from our party.
Wasantha Samarasinghe of the Janata Vimukti Peramuna made the following remarks at the 10th consecutive seminar held by Railway Technicians Association. There was talk about the people who obtained money from the Bond Commission. 1,196 million has been distributed using 166 checks of the Mendes company. 3,250 million in total has been distributed by Aloysius among politicians and officials. Rosi Senanayake went recently. Someone recorded a statement from the son of the mayor of Colombo admitting that he received a check of 22 million. The son had paid hotel bills of 150,000 on his visit to England. Fuel worth of rupees 450,000 has been pumped into the mother's and son's cars. He has answered to the CID. If a second commission was appointed, around 12,500 million rupees could be found. The commission is still not aware of the loss caused by the bond scam. If the president wants to know that, put him down also. The chairman has been appointed. Godaheva was appointed as the chairman of the Insurance Corporation. He has 2 court cases against him. The ones who have the majority of 113 forms the government. If it's the UNP, we ask them to bring in a no-confidence motion, because there are thieves. If the leaders of the party are thieves, would you be a good person? The people appointed you under the impression that you are good. If you take their votes and continue to steal, will the country ever develop? Will they ever have aims to develop this country? Attention was drawn towards a letter said to have been issued by Mahinda Rajapaksa as the finance minister.
Mahinda Rajapaksa instructs the Director General of the Customs by issuing a letter with the letterhead of Minister of Finance and Economic Affairs. Case number BA-DCASE-128-201. The name of the applicant is Ali Rishad Morf. I, Mahinda Rajapaksa, Minister of Finance and Economic Affairs of the Democratic Socialist Republic of Sri Lanka, orders to release $53,455 that was apprehended. Is this legal? Speaker, can this be done?
The Finance Ministry, in a statement rebutting the said claim, noted Sri Lanka customs officials sometime back had apprehended an outbound foreign national at the BIA while he was attempting to take out of the country US $53,455 in contravention of the customs ordinance. It was reported that the foreign nationals who work at the Uma Oya project, which is funded by the Republic of Iran, have sent their monthly salaries through this person out of the country. The Iranian ambassador in Colombo on October 3rd made an appeal to the Ministry of Finance to release this money on humanitarian grounds, saying that this money belongs to the employees working at the Uma Oya project. Accordingly, the Minister of Finance and Economic Affairs, Mahinda Rajapaksa, by virtue of the powers vested in him under Section 164 of the Sri Lanka Customs Ordinance, directed the Director General of Sri Lanka Customs to release this money to its legitimate owner.
On the 21st of June, the then Minister of Finance, Mangala Samaravira, instructed to legally send 17,000 euros or $3,000 stating that this is their salary. The current Finance Minister has released the money by virtue of the powers vested in him under Section 164 of the Sri Lanka Customs Ordinance. Mangala Samaravira also released money to the Iranian national under Section 164 of the Sri Lanka Customs Ordinance.
The case filed against former Defence Secretary Gotabaya Rajapaksa and 6 others over the misappropriation of 39 million rupees in public funds for the construction of the D.A. Rajapaksa Memorial was postponed to the 4th of December.
The case was taken up at the Permanent High Court trial at bar comprising of judges Sampath Abekon, Sampath Vijayratna and Champa Janaki Rajaratna. Court today issued an order on several public and private banks as well as head of legal at the Sri Lanka Land Reclamation and Development Corporation to submit all documentation requested by the prosecution on or before the 30th of November. Deputy Solicitor General Dilepa Piris, appearing for the Attorney General, noted copies of 80% of the documentation related to the case have been given to the defence. This is all because of the 19th Amendment introduced to the Constitution during former Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe's tenure. We have a problem as to why the 19th Amendment was brought in even before an election. The Constitution is a very important factor in the country. Making unanimous changes to the Constitution in this way will only create issues in the country. The previous government should be held responsible. I think at this point of time a presidential election is not the problem. Even if a presidential election is held, the structure of the parliament will not change. No matter who becomes the president, if there is no stable government, problems will arise. What's needed is a parliamentary election.
The 5th International Conference of the International Association of Theravada Buddhist Universities commenced under the auspices of President Maithripala Sirisena.
The conference, that is organized by the International Association of Theravada Buddhist Universities, is held every other year and aims to improve religious and cultural ties among Theravada Buddhist countries. Sri Lanka was the host nation for this year's conference. Academics and bhikkhus from over 10 Theravada Buddhist countries participated in this seminar. The President presented a special memento to the Vice Chancellor of the Sitanga University in Myanmar, Venerable Ashinyani Sirathera. Venerable Ashinyani Sirathera also presented the President with a Buddha statue. Mahasangha, including the chief prelates of the 3 sects, graced the occasion.
A shooting that took place last night between the Special Task Force and another group under the highway bridge in the Rukmalgama Road in Kottawa resulted in the death of 2 organised criminals. The deceased have been identified as 2 organised criminals named Habarakada Vasantha and Migoda Upul. The Special Task Force went to the location based on a tip-off received stating that the criminals roam in the said area. The organised criminals had opened fire at the task force when they arrived at the location. The police media unit stated that the 2 deceased individuals got shot when the Special Task Force returned fire and died upon admission to the Homagama Hospital. Abesingha Arachige Vasantha Kumara Pereira alias Habarakada Vasantha was a resident of Habarakada. He is the chief suspect of the death of a police officer on the 22nd of June during a shootout that took place between the police when a group headed by him attempted to rob a jewellery store in Mathura. An investigation that was conducted on this led to the discovery of weapons at his house. His spouse and parents were arrested as he was in hiding. Habarakada Vasantha was an associate of criminal gang headed by Koskuda Taraka. He is a 46-year-old individual named Kankanamlage Samantha Upul Kumara. His alias was Migoda Upul. It has been revealed that even he has several court cases in various courts relating to robberies. The most significant case being the one where he had committed a shooting and stolen money worth 1.7 million rupees in Maharagama on the 20th of June 2010. Upul Kumara kiyana pudgalaya. The first ever missile and multi-barrel rocket launcher produced in Sri Lanka will be on public display for the first time tomorrow. The new military hardware will be on display for the first time at the BMICH tomorrow at an exhibition organized to mark the 75th anniversary of the Sri Lanka Signal Corps.
The new military hardware will be on display for the first time at the BMICH tomorrow at an exhibition organized to mark the 75th anniversary of the Sri Lanka Signal Corps. The exhibition will be opened by President Maithripala Sirisena at 9 a.m. tomorrow, and visitors will be treated with a spectacular array of the latest military hardware as well as local and international military equipment.
This is going to be a revolution for our country, because we have been talking about developing our own weapons and our own technology for last few decades, which we have not been able to achieve so far. The knowledge which we have gained will be used to development of the country.
The 5th commemoration of late RIT Alice was held at the auditorium of the D.S. Senanayake College today.
RIT Alice, who began his career as a teacher at Royal College, Colombo, was a pioneer of the golden period in the country's educational sector. Late RIT Alice is the founder of both D.S. Senanayake College and the Gateway International School. The event was attended by family members of RIT Alice, including Rohini Alice, and a number of politicians. Floral tributes were laid before the statue of RIT Alice.
RIT Alice namen api kuda kala handunu ape gimpiya.
We must acknowledge that he was not only an exemplary principal but also an exemplary academic. With the hope that we will use these lessons that we must learn to shape our future, I wish that RIT Alice obtains the supreme bliss of Nibbana. The excavations at the mass grave, which was discovered near the Satosa building in Mana, have been resumed for the 105th day.
The German ambassador to Sri Lanka and foreign journalists inspected the location today. Over 230 skeletal remains have been found in the mass grave discovered in May this year. The skeletal remains have been sent to a laboratory at the University of Florida. Newsfirst's Farah Shaukat Ali visited the site to get first-hand information regarding the site to bring the matter up on the Newsline program.
The Colombo Rubber Traders Association of the Salon Chamber of Commerce celebrated 100 years today.
The event was held at the Salon Chamber of Commerce in Colombo. The event saw the launch of the Centennial postage stamp followed by a special rubber auction. Minister of Posts and Telecommunications C.B. Ratnayaka also addressed the event. The committee of the apex body of the rubber trade has further organized events to celebrate this historic milestone.
The newly appointed High Commissioner of Sri Lanka to the Islamic Republic of Pakistan, Nurdin Mohammad Shahid, has handed over credentials to the President of Pakistan, Arif Alvi.
Attorney at Law Nurdin Mohammad Shahid assumed duties on 22nd of October 2018 at the High Commission of Sri Lanka in Islamabad. Immediately prior to taking up the diplomatic assignment in Pakistan, he served as a chairman of the Consumer Affairs Council.
Giving evidence at the Commission today, Titus Kanangara, Senior Manager of Security Operations at Sri Lankan Airlines, stated that between the period of 2013 to 2018, Sri Lankan Airlines had paid 224 million rupees as passenger compensation for mishandled baggage.
Titus Kanangara stated that during the period 2013 to 2018, prohibited items such as knives have allegedly been smuggled into the highly restricted security area of the Bandaranaike International Airport by Sri Lankan Airlines employees. Senior State Counsel Fazli Razik argued that internal security lapses at the airport security system might have led to such violations, threatening passenger safety.
Sports First Allianz Platinum Awards 2018.
I am happy that the sport is being recognized. I think this will help the sportsmen and women to enhance and improve their talent.
Sports First Allianz Platinum Awards 2018.
And with that, we bring to a close this edition of Primetime News on TV1. For the Newsfirst team, I'm Jaimal Ratnayaka. Take care and good night.